going to talk about the major wars of World War One. So World War One had many major wars which led to the Allies' victory. But today I'm going to talk about the big ones, which were the Battle of Verdun, Somme, the Battle of Jutland, and the technology that they had developed to win the war. Because trenches slowed them down a whole bunch because of the fact that you could either try as much as you can to reach the other trench and die, or you could stay in your trench and protect it for as long as you can. So came the Battle of Verdun first. So the Battle of Verdun, what basically happened was there was this fortress in France which was highly undefended and had lots of supplies. So the British tried to attack it. So the French did not see this coming. The fortress was very old and basically the walls were decorated greenery. So a French general saw this coming. So he pleaded the government to send him some troops and to help rebuild the walls. That did not happen for some time until they heard about the attack really coming. Boom! The first bullets were shot. The French soldiers got more and more recruitments and got stronger and stronger walls. And at some points, there was no war. So they played cards as so next came the Battle of Jutland. So in that battle, it was a naval battle between the biggest naval power, the Britain versus the Germans. Britons wanted to starve the Germans out, while the Germans wanted to stop the British from starving them out because they were already starving. So there was a war in the English Channel. So during that battle, both of them had HMS Dreadnoughts. HMS Dreadnoughts are incredibly strong and very, very nice ships, but they are expensive. They lost so many ships that it was way too expensive. But at the end, British won the war and they got to starve Germany. So they had the objective, so they immediately had merchant ships or disguised merchant ships. So what basically happened, they had hidden guns that fired at any submarine from the Germans. So then came the sad, bloody battle of the Somme. The French of Verdun decided to call all their soldiers to another area to divide the Germans, because dividing was one of the best ways to win against the Germans, and go into the area of Somme. It was way too sad because many died. Some millions died on the first day for Britain. Why exactly? So, Britain wanted its technology, Germany wanted its skilled officers, and France wanted manpower. They all got what they wanted. So Britain basically had fake bombs because the women in the factories for some reason could not do it. There were a shortage of people working for the factories in the workforce. So it did not work. So the mud in front of the British was pretty weak, so there was no cover and they had to run through it. The French had to go through fresh, clean land with greenery under cover so they could easily attack the German people. And the German skilled officers were as skilled as you can expect them to be since the last few wars I've told you about. The Germans were failing every single war, unfortunately for the Germans. So then came the second battle of the Marne. The main goal was to take Allied troops from South Flanders into the northern areas of France, then get the Germans out of France, and then they win. So this was the first time they would recapture Marne since the time of 1914, when I said of when the Germans started the war. in 1914 after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. This was the Germans' last possible effort. If they failed the war completely. There was no turning back for them now. It was now or nothing. They put all their effort, but then this happened. In all their effort, they were so fast. The communication was completely lost between the commanders and the troops. So they could not fight with orders. The commanders lost control, so they lost. So tanks came in 1900s and they were a huge invention because now they could go through trenches without being shot down, without going through the mud, without much danger. They could even climb through the trenches if they wanted. So this was a humongous invention, and both the Germans and the British liked using